The Senate has urged the federal government to extradite Simeon Ekpa amid Southeast unrest. The Senate has asked the federal government to approach the Finnish government to extradite Simeon Ekpa, a self-acclaimed disciple of Nnamdi Kanu, the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. Ekpa, who is the head of the Autopilot, a faction of the secessionist group, has continued to order his loyalists to enforce seats at home in Southeast region, crippling economic activities in the area. The seat at home, which is mostly enforced on Mondays, has led to unrest in the Southeast region. According to the Senate, thousands of innocent lives have been lost since this action started, and property worth over $1 trillion have been destroyed, which has resulted in investors leaving the region. Resolutions of the Senate on Wednesday were sequel to a motion titled Condemning the Disruptive Nature of Sit-at-Home Demonstrations in the Southeast Nigeria. It was sponsored by Senator Osita Izunasu, the All Progressive Congress, Imo West, and co-sponsored by 14 other senators. The third prayer in the motion urging the federal government to use political solution approach in handling the case of IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu was rejected by the senators. Following the jettisoning of the prayers, Senator Ifeanyi Uba, YPP, Anambra South, that the upper chamber should ask the federal government to obey court order that granted Nnamdi Kanu bail, was also thrown out by his colleagues. In his presentation of the motion, Senator Izunasu said that the Senate is aware that thousands of innocent lives have been lost since this action started, and properties worth over $1 trillion have been destroyed, which resulted in investors leaving the region. Further, aware that the sit-at-home civil disobedient actions in the Southeast has led to the disruption and destructions of economic activities, as well as immeasurable financial losses for businesses, workers, and the local economy. Because when people are forced to stay at home and businesses remain closed, productivity declines and income is reduced, thereby affecting livelihoods and economic growth. Note that the sit-at-home protest disrupts the education of students, leading to missed classes and delays in academic progress. And such prolonged disruptions have long-term effects on students' learning outcomes and educational development. Disturbed that disruptions of essential public services such as healthcare, transportation, and waste disposal continues to have severe impact during sit-at-home protests, which adversely affect the well-being and safety of the general population living in the Southeast. Further disturbed that the sit-at-home protests continue to lead to acts of violence and clashes with law enforcement agents and agencies, which has led to uncountable loss of lives of innocent people, security agents, and the protesters. As this increases the potential for criminal elements to take advantage of the situation to engage in looting or other unlawful activities while the people stayed at home, and worried that if the activities of Simeon Ekpa, who is issuing the illegal sit-at-home orders, is not checked, he may succeed in corrupting the minds of Nigerian youths and turning them against the government, which is tantamount to treasonable felony. Reactions has lingered in social medias as fans has tweeted. Ikechukwu Obi tweeted, he said, yet the so-called senators could not be able to tell the federal government to release Nnamdi Kanu. We are watching very closely. Muhammad Zikari replied to Ikechukwu Obi and he said, Oga, release or realize which one? Honorable Edwin Agwonu has tweeted, but they know the solution. Release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now, as the court directed, and see that the sit-at-home will be a thing of the past. Akko the Major tweeted, the sit-at-home may increase, please, federal government should solve the problem. Simeon did not force anyone to stay at home, so he is not the problem. Samsalu tweeted, extraditing Simeon Ekpa will double the unrest in the southeast. Sonny Kalu tweeted, they all go on exile to Abuja, no more stepping their foot to Biafra land till Biafra is restored. OK Heaven Gates has tweeted, useless Senate. The Senate should also release Nnamdi Kanu. Ndiara. Desmond Chikeson also tweeted, the federal government sponsor me to Finland. I will personally deal with Simeon. Victor Chinaka wrote, Simeon Ekpa deserved persecution even, but before then, the first option is releasing Nnamdi Kanu first to see if the unrest continues. Unfortunately, Finland is not a place where rule of law doesn't exist. Finnish government will ask Nigerian governments why they haven't released Nnamdi Kanu since the court has ordered and has cleared him of any crime. Abu Chris said, very soon Simeon Ekpa will declare the whole senators in the southeast wanted, and they will not escape. Pastor Onyebuchi tweeted, federal government allegedly kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Court ordered his release, but federal government refused, obeying the rule of law, which lead to the sit-at-home. Now, the lawmakers themselves, instead of urging the federal government to obey court order by releasing Nnamdi Kanu, as to install permanent peace, they are asking for more trouble. You brought Mazi Nnamdi Kanu back. Today, Southeast is paying terribly for it.